This episode of Super GG Radio is brought to you by our Patreon. Patrons of the show can get our Dogs of Super GG Radio newsletter, Super GG Radio stickers to slap on your closest PC or bag, input on what we cover, game nights with the hosts, and even a chance to win a copy of an indie we talked about. Not only that, but 90% of all patron contributions go to the Children's Miracle Network of Hospitals. Visit patreon.com/superggradio to learn more.
What's good, Internet, and welcome to session 273 of Super GG Radio, where friends chat about video games and all things adjacent. This week, Alex is out on assignment, so I can say the word moist and squelch as much as I want. So prepare a backup shirt and a pair of pants, as I am your moistest host, Eric Getty Moistinger. With me, sometimes, is a man with no dry spots, Joel DeWitte.
Moistinger. I had to take that slowly to pronounce that right.
It's dripping.
Yeah, I wish that was the case sometimes. Like I'm the person who, like, when it gets dry out, my knuckles start cracking and getting dry and stuff like that. So, no, I'm the opposite problem. I'm very, very dry.
You'd never just want to get like a big old bucket of water and pour it over your head?
No.
Like right now? Like right now?
It's like something tilting over me as we speak. Yeah, I should have prepared for that one. Sorry.
Ice bucket challenge.
I mean, it's not too late. We're probably like delayed by 5 years, right? That seems right.
That's okay. It's retro now. We can bring it back around.
We sure can.
It's in the backlog.
Do we have a backlog this week? All right. We also have a man who is familiar with having one wet sock, Alec Parks.
Oh man, that is the absolute worst feeling. You step in something and your sock is suddenly wet, and it's uncomfortable, and that's why I don't wear socks anymore.
You know what's worse than one wet sock? 2 wet socks.
No, because then at least the uncomfortableness is even.
Mm-hmm. It's just that feeling that only one shoe and one sock is just drenched.
Yep.
And no matter how much you walk, because eventually you're going to have to take it off. But do you take off both socks and replace them, or you just replace one?
Both.
Yeah, both.
There's another.
Really?
You're gonna replace just one like that?
Yeah.
Then you, man.
I guess it depends on how many matching pairs
like
you got.
There's one lonely sock in your drawer.
Don't care about mismatching socks. I just have a bucket of socks and I pick 2 every day. That's how I live my life.
Time to get out of bed and roll over to my sock bucket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I stopped the sock matching a long time ago. Like, if I get new socks, I'm like, all right, I'll wear these together probably once, but then after that, anything's up for grabs. Yep, into the bucket.
The one thing I heard people do, which is smart, is like you clear your dresser drawer of socks and then buy new socks, all of the same style, and that way you don't need to worry about matching socks.
I mean, that is a true problem. Is if you get like a short one and a tall one, then all bets are off. Then you feel uncomfortable even if they're dry.
Super GG Radio, now with 15% more awkwardness.
Sock talk.
This is Sock Talk at Super GG Radio.
Don't walk like my brother.
All right, guys.
You remember Car Talk? No? Nobody listened to Car Talk on NPR?
No.
Oh, it was a classic.
I'm sure if I enjoyed car and talking, that would be true.
I feel like this is going to become homework of some sort.
It might.
Okay. Let's really get to it. I want everybody to close their eyes and imagine somewhere out there a bunch of dry people. Imagine Alex at a concert, completely dry, and then just getting moister and moister as the night progresses because he's hot and sweaty and dripping.
And that's people. Like that's not just like environment. That's people.
Yeah, that's like the heat of everything around you. He's gonna get real sweaty tonight, and good for him. He deserves it. All right, we're gonna get real crazy in early adopters if we haven't already gotten crazy enough now. I'm gonna make everybody sit through the news. There's some stuff in there, right? Yep. And then finally, we'll reach our maximum moisture levels in the backlog. You guys are going to be real wet by the time we hit the backlog.
Like,
what does he mean by that?
Like hitting the bottom of Splash Mountain.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, no. Joel, you live in the general area. You ever been to Great America out in Gurnee, Illinois?
Yes.
Okay. So, akin to the log flume, there's like a much bigger one that they have, and there's like a bridge that you can, after you go on the ride, you walk around, or you don't even have to go on the ride. You can like stand up there on the bridge and just get soaked. That's the mood for tonight.
Okay. Fast and violent. Got it.
Fast, violent, and you get tricked into standing up there like, oh, it'll be fun. Nope. Completely soaked. And now you have to walk around for the next 4 hours in the hot sun, hoping that both of your socks dry.
Oh, everything else but the socks will dry.
Yeah. That is Super GG Radio. And we're off to early adopters, where we play alphas, betas, and games where I haven't been able to stretch like this in years. I successfully played one of the games this week. I'm having a difficult time at work. It is just too much stress. But I will tell you what is not very stressful, but a little infuriating. Mr. Stretch and the Stolen Fortune. Y'all familiar with the original Snake game that you would play on your cell phone back when you only had a Motorola? I don't know how else to describe it. Okay, so it is a 2D plane, and your Snake character would move around. You can only move in the cardinal directions, and you pick up and you try and stay alive for as long as possible. Now, Mr. Stretch and the Stolen Fortune is much better graphically than a game like that, because you're moving around the map and you are collecting diamonds, gems, all sorts of shiny objects. And you don't have to worry about caving in on yourself. So in original Snake game, second that you hit a wall or you hit another part of your body, it was game over. But Mr. Stretch has this fantastic ability to change directions in the middle, and you can rest yourself. This was fabulous. You can rest yourself against some objects or even yourself so that you can, not die. And there was plenty of dying when I played. I don't know about you guys.
Oh, yes.
The difficulty progresses. The first couple of stages are just getting to know the mechanics, picking up gems, and then eventually some of the walls become hazards, and then it finally throws in moving gas clouds.
Yeah, that's about right.
That their sole aim is to run into you, and if they hit any part of your body, you lose a heart. You get 3 hearts per stage. And your goal is always to collect all of the gems and then reach the exit.
And hit a par score.
Which I was not very successful at.
Oh, me either.
Yeah, I didn't concern myself with that.
But it was like, hey, if you hit the par on all of the courses, all of the levels, there's a special surprise. And I was like, special surprise? And then I was like, immediately, no, I'm not going to do that. This is a good demo. I had a lot of fun with it.
It's a very good game from what I played. And this is, you talked about being stressed out and just trying to find something mellow and relaxing. And even in the tougher bits of this demo, it was still very much I'm going to sit here, I'm going to play my snake game and go route through here and then snap back, and nothing is high pressure. They got like the timer in the corner, but it seems more like for scorekeeping or leaderboards maybe on that, rather than it being a stressful thing. So it really is a take at your own pace kind of game. This was sort of this reminds me of games in like the era of like Snood, and some of those like small PC games that have one very simple idea, but then just build tons and tons of levels on it. This is more sophisticated with what we played so far. There's enemies you have to navigate. There were areas where there were walls that needed to be like switched on and off to get to the different gems, and this is just what we've played so far today, and it feels additive in a way that is challenging but not punitive, and that's something important for this, and it's definitely a little more layered in that way. But yeah, this is a lot of fun, and I made sure to add myself to the play test also, because it's open access to that if you want to do it.
Yeah.
Mr. Stretch, this guy's legit. How far? How far did everybody make it?
I made it to the enemies and the level past that, and I was just kept dying. I was like, okay, this is fun, but clearly I have a skill issue.
There are some levels that really benefit you by taking it slow and being careful. But these monsters, the little gas clouds, they never stop moving, so you have to time it just right. Again, the nice thing about Mr. Stretch is he's able to divert like the direction that he's going. And the cutest thing about this demo is that if you like go back twice, so let's say you're trying to go to the left. So you hold down left and then you go up, and then you're like, nope, I need to head backwards. So you hit the back button, you go hit down, and then you hit the right, and then your guy just like whoop, and then like quickly recalls himself. Mm-hmm. I enjoyed Mr. Stretch trying to find all of these gems.
The game kind of fools you, because if you played Snake before, your mind goes, you gotta keep going, and the snake gets longer and longer and longer, and you did this idea of needing to like chain together the points, right? Mm-hmm. And that's what you want to do instinctively in this game, is be like, well, I want to just create the biggest snake and weave around everywhere and get it all in one go. But no, it teaches you pretty quickly, like, slow down. It's okay to revert back and then start again. There's no challenge being, like timers, or there's the lives, but it doesn't feel punitive.
Yeah, so that all goes to trying to get par. The quicker you do it, meaning the longer snake you have, the more points you get, because you're getting a added bonus for each
consecutive gem.
Yep, each consecutive gem that you get without touching down. You get multipliers for having all your hearts, and you get multipliers for doing it quickly.
Mm-hmm. So, really, you could shoot for par. I don't know.
I was always under par.
I only did it once, and I was like, okay, that was kind of fun.
Nice short bit, bite-sized levels. Yeah, mm-hmm. I'm fine with it being consume once, and I'm content with that.
Yeah, I could see myself coming back to this multiple times. All right, Mr. Stretch and the Stolen Fortune. I recommend it. Go check it out. Definitely wish-listed this one. I want to see what happens with it. The other game, the one that I failed to play this week, unfortunately, and I'm hoping that you guys did. Yeah?
Oh, yeah, I played it.
Okay. Is Trip. And Trip, from what I could tell, is a short little trip, for lack of a better word, that you take on a train, and there's some crazy stuff that happens. How accurate is that?
Yeah, it's pretty accurate. You've got weird things happening outside the train. You're talking to people. It's reminiscent of Exit 9, I think was the name of the game, where you're going through the same area again and again and looking for something to have changed. You don't have to spot the change, but you keep going through and they tell you that something's different, and you end up looking for a secret location, a secret button that then triggers a new area to go through. And it goes into a trippy little dream sequence
And
that kind of reveals you're the dreamer, and that's what's keeping the train running.
Huh.
okay.
And I kept waiting for something spooky to happen, but it never. I was waiting for that jump scare. That whole time I was like, okay, someone's gonna jump at me.
Explicitly picked this one because it did not seem like it was supposed to be scary. Now that you've said that, it makes me very excited because I have to believe that if it was, if you felt like it could happen, then
It did. It definitely had the right tone and the right atmosphere for something spooky to happen, but nothing came.
okay.
Yeah, there are moments of disturbing responses. So there's like a kid that's pretty quiet through the entire time, and you're going through a train cab, right? And the whole cycle is that you will walk through the cab, talk to the people sitting there. There's like a man at a computer doing his work. There's somebody on a treadmill for some reason working out. There is an older lady and then that kid, and you'll go through each time, and the second time it'll be them a little bit different, right? The man on the computer will start talking to you like it's normal, but then he starts saying like, "What do you mean we've met before? I've never talked to you," stuff. Instead of a treadmill, the worked out person will be like lifting weights or doing squats or something like that. And then the kid will just look at you and say, "You shouldn't be here."
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
It like zooms in on his face, and like it's like red lettering at the bottom. So that's what kind of alludes to more scary stuff possibly in the works of it. So I think there's definitely going to be still a dark undertone through all of it. But yeah, it's an interesting experience. I didn't quite as far as Alec did. They point you to the bathroom.
Yep.
And I went there, and you see the reflection of the button from the door you came in through, and then there's also a reflection of the button in the top corner. And I couldn't trigger what to do next.
You have to you have to interact with the button that's not there. You have to turn around and interact with where it is in the reflection.
So you go behind you, looking back at the door, and then try to interact with what corner it shows.
Yep.
Trippy.
Okay. All right. Smart. Yeah, I didn't catch that. No, that's good. That's good.
And now I do have to wonder. So you go through. You can only get to the bathroom on your first loop, as it were. Every other time through, there's somebody in the bathroom until it resets and you're in the first loop again.
Right.
I wonder if you need to go through. I kind of curious to go back and just play 30 seconds to see if you can hit it on that very first loop, or if you have to have it reset.
Just talking with you makes me feel like I've missed a few things I'd want to see. So like I'd be curious to hear about that too.
So this was like a point and click game, right?
First person.
Kind of.
Okay.
Yeah, like you're openly walking around in these areas. It's not like turn camera perspective. Now you click on this window of background. So it's a little more interactive feeling than that. And it's a confined space, so it doesn't feel like some of those other ones where it's like you have to walk a whole bunch just to do the same thing. So it's nice in that way. And so, yeah.
I know why I kept waiting for something spooky to happen. I'm having flashbacks from Extra Life and PT.
I found out that somebody had recreated PT in Dreams, which is this, Roblox kind of thing that PlayStation has. So, Alec, if you want, we can reenact it this next year.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, okay. Just checking, seeing if maybe that's something you wanted. Obviously not. Yeah. Okay. So, Trip, what do you guys think? Yay or nay?
I can definitely see Alex playing it, but it's a pass for me.
I like that.
The streams, I'm going to put it on my wish list and then hear what Alex has to say about the game. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. When you do itty bitty indie committee with him?
You know what?
This is a perfect game for that.
You're right.
All right.
So maybe I will play it.
It has to happen now. We're manifesting it. Get out your dream boards. Put it up there. We're going to make it happen. Yeah, so that'll do it for early adopters. Guys, let's go ahead and board the crazy train and to a break. I was going to do the Ozzy Osbourne laugh, but I feel like we might get in trouble for that, so see you soon. Hey, guys, we're back. This is the news with Super GG Radio. Surprisingly, now with an acceptable amount of sand. And if I have to explain that one to you, you probably didn't grow up at the same time as us.
Is it pocket sand?
No.
No.
But that's okay. This is all fine.
Think more college humor.
Mm-hmm.
I think I missed that one.
It's okay. The joke is not funny. To me it is, but we're not going to subject anybody to it. I see that this week we have actual factual news, and nobody put in any rumors, so kudos to us.
To be fair, Alex could have put rumors in, but nothing would be forcing us to say them.
He could put anything, and I would still consider reading it. Part of me would be like, I don't know about that. Although Alec and I did have a pretty good aside earlier today about all of the Pokemon-like games that aren't actually Pokemon. Mm-hmm. So, when you throw a ball in there, and that's the device that you use to capture your questionable monsters, that's when you get in trouble. Everybody else has done it pretty successfully without a ball. But, alright, well, enough of that. Nobody cares about Pokemon. I do. We got, this first one is not even, I don't know if it's news. It just says, Yakuza like a pirate. Yes, this game was announced. It follows one of the characters from the Yakuza series going to Hawaii and apparently becoming a pirate. I really like the whole series itself starts with this grand, oh yeah, the Yakuza, these guys are really tough, they're really dangerous. We've gotten to the point where I'm over 100 hours. Really, I'm over 100 hours in a game where I am technically homeless. I can change my class from a sports athlete into a action movie star that is akin to Bruce Lee and just walk around and do random stuff. I collect other homeless people in this game. That is
a ball?
Is there a ball?
No, but guys, I will have to share. I'll have to record a video of when you catch one of them, you battle them, and then after the battle, one of them hangs out, and then you have a gift, and depending on when you hit the button, so it does this charge up on the bottom of the screen. It's it starts low and goes high. So if you hit it low, it's not as successful, and your character just takes this box. It's a box. It's a gift. And he just throws it on the ground. He's here. But if you do it successfully, you get it closer to the maximum part of the gauge. He bows down and presents the gift in a very respectable way. And depending on how successful you are, that's how you gain the trust of the other homeless person.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so you don't need a ball. You just need You just need to collect homeless people. It sounds so bad to say it. I'm so sorry. I just have too much fun with this game.
I forget. Did you play the original Yakuza games, or did you start with Like a Dragon?
I started with Like a Dragon because it's turn-based. I maybe played an hour in the past of Yakuza 0. It's a beat-em-up, so I can respect it, and it's got a lot of the same like story elements. It gets really heavy into the story at a lot of parts, and you will find yourself sitting there and watching cutscenes for a very long time.
Yeah,
which is fine, because if nothing else, it is trying to tell a very involved story. It's just all the wacky stuff that happens that makes it that much more special. Yakuza Like a Pirate, I have no idea what to expect from this, but
that's the thing. It's fascinating how they've evolved this series and spun stuff off, and it's just been a crazy journey.
This could be like amazing. It could also be just obnoxious, and it's probably a little bit of both. Do I know what's going to happen in this game? No. Can I tell that there's already karaoke? Yes. So, yeah. I guess I'm excited. I don't know if I'm going to play this one right away, but still. Next piece of news. Wow. Cristiano Ronaldo, pro soccer player. They prefer to be called football players, Alex. He is being teased for Fatal Fury. Fatal Fury. That is an old school fighter. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then there's a question posed here. Would you like to see a pro sports star in a video game outside of the classic sports games? Sports games. Sports games. It's just weird to say it, okay?
No.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with a no as well.
Well, okay, so let's take a step back and look at our target audience. I imagine that Joel maybe watches some football occasionally.
Mm-hmm. And plenty of youth baseball.
Yeah. And Alec, I'm pretty sure, no.
I watch some football occasionally.
When you go someplace and it's on, right?
And the Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl. I don't know if we can say Super Bowl on this.
The big game.
The big game.
Superb owl.
Yeah. Those are all acceptable answers. I do follow football, and I follow hockey for the most part. Blackhawks have been trash the last couple of seasons. The Bears are always bad. The Bears were good when I wasn't alive. Let's put it that way.
Jay Cutler in Street Fighter.
I want to fight you, sir. That's awful. Well, there are some big name athletes. Everybody knows who LeBron James is. Everybody knows who Michael Jordan was back in the day. So I also don't feel like I need to have these other athletes in another game.
I mean, we had this already. We had Shaq Fu. Let's not do that again.
That is an excellent example. Let's never do that again. I had to think about was it? No, it was not worth it. It was not.
No, that's the game you made the mistake one Friday night of renting at Blockbuster.
Yes, it was.
When it's like all the copies of Sonic 3 were already taken.
Yeah.
Or Booger Man.
That also existed at every rental store you went to. Yeah.
Okay. Well, next piece of news. I guess there was a PlayStation State of Play this week. I did not get a chance to watch it, but some exciting things came out of it. Alec, you got to be pretty excited for Lunar Remastered Collection.
I'm conditionally excited for it. I'm still waiting for a listing to show up in Steam. If it doesn't show up in Steam, I don't know that I'm going to play it.
I think it has to, right?
Alex put a picture that it's coming to Xbox, so I would think it's going to, but...
I know the series isn't PlayStation exclusive. I know those games were on PlayStation.
Yeah, they originally came out on the Saturn and the Sega CD.
Oh, I thought that the first one... Oh, hold on.
I played one on Game Boy Advance. That was the one I played.
That could be. But I don't... I played the first two. And fun point of conversation. Lunar 2 was the first game that I ever got as a collector's edition, because it came with the art book and it came with like a music CD. Mm-hmm. And that was kind of neat. That was my like first experience, but it wasn't... I think that all versions came with it. It was just like that extra special treatment, and you're like, oh, this is really neat, because not everything came with that. The art book especially. And it was the same size as the CD jewel case for a PlayStation. So
yeah.
I'm also kind of excited for it. I will be very interested to see how it looks. Those games were very long, and they were very grindy back in the day. So
I have this memory for Lunar Silver Star, the first one. I was playing it with a buddy. He owned it, and I would go over there, and we would just take turns playing it for a little while. Final boss battle. And he was like, okay, give me the controller back. Let me finish the battle. I'm like, oh, let me just have one more turn. And I landed the killing blow on the last boss. He has not forgiven me.
Oh,
it's funny how that works, right? I've got a friend from high school who was a Final Fantasy X where you had like the lightning stipping stuff for one of the like master weapons.
Oh, yes, it was.
Yeah. He had played all day trying to get this thing. And
you had to dodge lightning 100 times. 100 times in a row.
I picked it up and did it.
Man, if you did that, I would be ecstatic. I would just be like, thank you so much. There are some times when I'm like, I wish that I could have somebody just come over and do this for me. Mm-hmm. Because it's tough stuff.
It must just be like a blow to the pride. Like, I don't know. But...
No, I mean, at this point in my life, I know that if I can't do something, I'm going to ask somebody, or I'm just going to keep throwing my body into it until either the game dies or ultimately I die.
Yeah.
Which is probably that option. Either way. No, wow. Those are some good stories. Didn't expect either of those to come out here. Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered, fine, whatever. Soul Reaver Remastered. Everybody's excited about this one.
That's a good one. Oh, yeah. And significantly better looking graphics, a lot more detail in the monsters in the world, and but it still retains that kind of, it's not really blocky, but the more like polygonal outline-ish kind of stuff. So it hews closer to the faithfulness of how it looked too. Nice to hear Tony J's voice again. Been a while since he heard him do any vocals, because he's dead. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this one.
I'm looking forward to it because I never actually played these. I just played the original Blood Omen.
I also did not play these, so I am very excited that it's going to be available for play.
Not for free.
No. For realsies. That's what we're going with tonight. Next one. Ghosts of Yotai, which is the sequel to Ghosts of Tsushima. Joel definitely played through all of Ghosts of Tsushima.
Yeah, right before I got rid of my PlayStation 5.
And is
It
it
was
the same time that
it was
you
epic experience.
finished Armored Core?
That was tough. Like that took me. That made me so angry, beating that final boss, and I haven't looked at it since. Just as I felt like I had reached a plateau that I'm never going to reach again.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And what was the name of that boss?
Big crab monster thing.
Nope. That's a nice try.
Giant freighter with a gun.
No, but that was definitely a boss in the game.
Yeah, it was. That was a good one.
Yeah, I digress. This game, a sequel to it, I can't help but be very happy. It'll be another long haul game, though. I'm sure that I'm gonna want to do everything, check all the boxes. That's what really, for me, makes games like, Ghost of Tsushima special, is going around the map, experiencing all of the things that they've hidden and placed in there for you to uncover by yourself. And, it's kind of cool to go into, like, the final fights as a complete badass.
Yeah, it's something where if there's joy in exploration in these open worlds, it easily compels you to move forward. Like, I had that same experience with Zelda, Horizon Zero Dawn. I, chewed away that pretty well. So, yeah, I did it.
Yeah. All right, and then there's a note here that there's a Dynasty Warriors Origins. You don't need to tell me, man. There's always a Dynasty Warriors.
You guys weren't waiting years for a new one?
I mean, if I want to play Dynasty Warriors, man, I'll go play Dynasty Warriors. I got like 4 of them here.
Got it.
It's all the same game. It's probably going to look nicer, right? But it's the same game.
Okay. All right. That's good.
You know what? I could be wrong. It could be completely changed. This could be first person. I mean, you can switch between first and third person in some of the later ones. But yeah, I doubt that they're going to change the wheel here after all these years. I'm still going to ride the wheel, but... All right, 1.0s. We're going to do this quick. We got Renatus goes 1.0. That was what we played a couple of weeks ago. 2 weeks ago?
Last week.
Last week.
1 week ago. I lose track of time because I am alive. Definitely not a robot either. That is a third person. You are a renegade wizard doing wizard stuff and going around and defeating monsters and other wizards that are bad. Yes. Kind of Kingdom Heartsy too. There we go. Those are all the words.
All the buckles.
The other game that we have is The Holy Gosh Darn. And I don't remember this one.
Me neither.
Me either.
Okay. So I'm sure that this is a game. The Holy...
It looks
Gosh
like
darn.
a narrative adventure with time-traveling twist. Very cartoony.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What's interesting?
Alex is going to make you watch him play this.
Yeah, probably.
I can feel it.
I would rather watch somebody play this than play this.
Fair.
That might sound meaner than I meant it to sound, but
No, I'm looking at the video too of what they have on Steam, and it's like you really have to pay attention and backtrack and use this time hop function. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Yeah, those are our 1.0s for the week, and now we're going to move over to freebies.
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 For free. We got 4 this week, and I don't have any of these pulled up. Did anybody pull them up?
I got them. I'll do my
Yeah.
best. I'll do my best.
Thank you, Joel. Let's make a word soup.
It'd be like
First one, The Spirit and the Mouse over on the Epic Game Store.
The Spirit and the Mouse. You play as a mouse in a very almost very storybookish kind of 3D world. It looks like a 3D exploration platformy style game. Very whimsical. Looks nice.
Okay. Moving right along. We have... Decidite? Decidite over on Steam.
Decidite is a fast first-person shooter. I'm guessing maybe kind of Doom-like. It's a roguelike in a very sort of Gothic-esque, also kind of hellish-looking environment. Tough to tell much more than that, but it looks almost... You guys remember, like, Hexen?
Yes.
It gives me
Vaguely.
that kind of vibe with the way it looks.
Okay. Next, please say hi on Steam.
Simple without unnecessary complications, with a good story and interesting ending.
That's the description.
That's the description.
That's the
Good.
description.
That's what we're leaving it as.
Got it.
Final freebie for the week. Basil and the Island of Spice over on Steam.
Character platformer, third-person platformer. It kind of evokes a little bit of the look of Spyro, for a point comparison. Looks cute. It could be fun.
How spicy is it?
How spicy is it? I mean, this paprika.
Okay.
Yeah.
Smoked or regular?
I think smoked. Yeah.
Ooh. I can definitely get in on that. Okay. Guys, I'm glistening. I think we need to take a break really quick to towel off. We will see you in a moment. But we are back with the Backlog Blog, where we play games with the power of love. I don't know. Is that true? Alec, you did play Time Spinner. Does that have the power of love?
No, it's more got the power of revenge.
All right.
So Time Spinner is a fairly old, at this point, Metroidvania. Came out about 6 years ago. And you play as a time messenger. This clan of people on Windaria, one of the planets in the solar system, has a tradition of training somebody to go through the time spinner in the event of an emergency. It erases them from history, and they get reunited with the clan and warn the clan of the imminent danger so that they can relocate, prepare, whatever. As you're going through the time spinner, because the Lachim have come to try and take control of the time spinner, it explodes. And time
does the same thing?
No, time does not explode.
Oh. I was like, this is progressively getting wilder, and then the time spinner explodes. So that's when the game ends, right?
No, that's at the very beginning.
Okay.
So you start off with your character has orbs that surround her, and you fire them or swing with them depending upon the different orb powers that you collect. They're your primary weapon throughout the game. You're exploring, looking for either the pieces of the time spinner or how to get revenge on the Lachim for killing your mother and destroying the time spinner. You do end up finding bits and pieces of the time spinner, enough to randomly send you back to way before anything had ever happened. While Lachim is still a fledgling society and you can, as the game progresses, you get to decide how that happens. You get to choose whether they become a empire and through certain aspects of the game, and you get to weaken them. And then you go back to the future. You end up being able to go back and forth between these two specific time periods on Lachim.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of, to put it in a Symphony of the Night-esque comparison, it's the reverse castle and the regular castle.
Okay.
And you keep going. You're still hell-bent on revenge and killing the Emperor of Lachim for destroying the time spinner and your mother. You're collecting memories from your mother that got scattered with the time spinner to figure, and that's how it does a lot of the storytelling. Are we doing spoilers? It's a 6-year-old game. Spoilers are fine.
I mean, if you want to throw a spoiler warning on it, sure. Does it turn out that it's the power of friendship, or do you find out that maybe your mom doesn't want you to become a murder hobo?
No, so
she does want you to become a murder hobo.
A little bit. It turns out that the Emperor of Lachim is actually your father.
Oh, well, shucks.
Yep. And so you have a choice of 4 endings for the game, and that's something that I really enjoyed about it. You can kill the Emperor and assume the throne, abandon the throne and leave Lachim in chaos. You can go back in time and kill the Emperor before he discovers Windaria and the Time Spinner.
Wait, so in that version, are you killing your father, or you're killing your grandpa so that your father doesn't exist and then you don't exist, kind of thing?
You're just killing your father.
But
three of the endings kill your father.
So patricide is essential to the plot. Okay.
Yes. And then the final ending is you go back in time and kill. The final option for the ending is you go back in time and you kill the person who started the whole war between Lachim and DeWitte, which is a world you never get to go to. And to have a peaceful society. No blood is shed. It's great. It's the happy, happy, joy, joy ending. Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
But in 2 of those endings, you end up breaking time so bad that another being decides to destroy the universe and start over.
Somebody else decides to just kill you.
Pretty much. And you then have to commit deicide to put everything back together again. So not only is there patricide, there's deicide.
Yeah,
and that's
murder
when it became
hobos.
Final
I was
Fantasy.
to say, is it a good game if you can't kill God? I mean,
some of my favorite games you do. Just throwing it out there.
I have put in 5 hours in this game, so it's not a long game. You can beat it quicker depending upon what ending you want to go for. I wound up with 98% map completion, and I still only have about half the achievements that are available.
Oh.
So there's still stuff I could go back and do.
will you?
Okay.
Maybe. Because it's at this point, it's hunting down those last memories, letters, downloadable tablets from the future. Just the little nooks and crannies that I don't know if I want to go have a map up on one side that I'm comparing to the map I have in game.
Nah, that's not fun.
Yeah.
No, you don't want to do that.
Oh, that goes back. Yeah, having Symphony of the Night open and having your computer monitor next to you, or you're like trying to draw down the map layout. Yeah, no thanks.
pretty sure that's what Alex was trying to do with Ender Lilies. He was like, he did call me this week, and he's like, I don't think I'm going to get the good ending. And I was like, I mean, sometimes you just need to stop. Like, not everybody has that level of dedication. Moistinger. Sorry.
I mean, if he's okay spoiling like movies and by watching the endings on YouTube,
you know that he already did. He did it before we probably even started.
Yeah,
he's like, I need to know what the good ending is.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Now, the exciting news about Time Spinner is that the sequel is supposed to be coming out
now.
This year, yes. Time Spinner 2.
The respinning?
Yeah. Electric Boogaloo.
Nice.
It's Time Spinner 2, Unwoven Dream. So I'm looking forward to that and to seeing when or how they're going to continue that story, since the Time Spinner's been destroyed.
Yeah, don't have a lot of time here, so...
I see what you did there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Keep this nice, crisp episode under an hour. Well, I guess it's not really crisp anymore because of all the, moisture. Yeah. I will quickly talk about a game that I started playing recently and am having mixed feelings about. Y'all remember Atomic Heart when that came out? Only last year?
I remember thinking that's a really compelling image for the game in the storefront.
Yes. If you remember BioShock.
Yeah.
So BioShock, you're in kind of a dystopian civilization where, the first one is underwater, the second one is also underwater. And then the third one, you go to Columbia, which is like a city in the sky. Beautiful, but there's usually some type of hook, and the ruler's always some crazy person. Atomic Heart gives me so much of the BioShock vibes. Your character has different abilities and different skills that you can unlock by collecting materials from the environment and from defeating enemies. And, it has a lot of cool visuals. You are going different places and you're doing stuff. In the first area, I really enjoyed it. You're fighting against these robots that look like humans, and they have been tasked with helping the humans, but they've all gone bonkers.
As they do.
Yeah. Don't trust the machines. That's what I've been telling people for years. So all of the machines are out to get you, but you start out the game, you have a little bit of wiggle room. You are on a path. Like, you have to go through this path that gets you to an underground bunker, a research lab, and then you go through. I feel like 8 hours in, and I just got out of that first lab, and it's giving me an open world, and I'm like, I don't know that I need to have an open world. I liked the closed off, contained environment that I had in that first area. And that's where I think that the game is successful, is by giving you this closed off space and you getting to go from area to area, finding all the materials that you need to progress the story. And it's probably just my preference to having played BioShock before, is that I want it to be, you have to do this in this area. But then throwing me into an open world, I'm like, I don't know, man. There's a lot to do out here. And there was a lot to do in that one spot. Now, I'll stick with it. Some of the cool parts of it, again, you get to unlock different abilities through collecting materials. You get to make weapons, so you usually pick up like a base weapon and then you can upgrade it. You can make your ammo, and the vending machine that does these things, that upgrades your weapons and makes items for you, is the horniest vending machine I've ever met. She is straight up like, yeah, put it inside me. And your character's like, what are you talking about? And she's like, the weapons, just put them in me. Like,
Ooh.
And whenever you walk into the room with her, she's like, "Oh yeah, come here, big boy." And I'm like, at one point, I'm playing it on the Steam Deck, and it goes off and it starts talking to me like that. And my wife, she's on the couch next to me, and she's like, "What smut are you watching?" It's the vending machine. I'm a Soviet soldier. I'm trying to prevent a robot uprising here. I don't know why the machine is like this.
I'm not doing this. This is happening to me.
Yes, I feel like it was coming onto me. Unwanted, might I add. So, yeah, this game, it oozes style. It definitely has the right touches of what you would expect from a BioShock game. Maybe I'm going to enjoy it more once I get further along. Maybe the open world isn't so bad, but just the enemy design, the abilities that I've unlocked, the weapons, it's all real cool. I have to mention that I got it at a steep discount, though. I would not have paid $60 for this. I'm sorry, guys. This is too much. This is way too much. Yeah, but real cool. I'm enjoying it for the most part. I'll report back eventually.
There's something to be said for that narrative, like the way a specifically designed level by level can kind of pace the storytelling and how you meter out abilities and stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, again, it's real cool, but I have some questions. All right. So I guess we could just end the episode right there, yeah? Just cut it here? No?
That I don't need to have a one last thing.
I would like to still do one last thing. It's for the family. One last thing. This week's one last thing is brought to you by fall weather. Starting to get a little bit cooler. Got some pumpkin spice everything. I like it. My one last thing. I'm pretty sure at this point we should all be 3 hours into Alien Isolation. And by the looks on everybody's faces, they are not. I have it installed.
I have it installed as well.
Yes, I have reached that threshold.
All right, we're getting there. So we just have 22 hours to go. And about a month to do it.
It's a 22-hour game?
Yeah.
What have you signed me up for?
Punishment.
I don't know.
For you, punishment.
Yeah. I played the last 22-hour game that was homework. Actually, I think I played more than that. No way to verify it though. I'm not opening Ender Lilies to check how long I played. Yeah, that's my one last thing. Joel?
I don't know. I've been playing a lot of Marvel superheroes versus Street Fighter.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You getting bodied a lot?
I mean, against the computer, no. You know, I'll give the collection this. It's figured out the matchmaking a little bit, so like it's more rare than I'm just getting completely outclassed. They're pairing me up with people as bad as I am. So
that's good.
I'll give it that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Alec?
You bring up fall weather, and I've been sitting here staring at a Ninja Foodie air fryer pressure cooker combo. I think I'm going to buy it.
I don't know how those two things match up, but...
Because you get the stews, and you get the soups, and you get the everything cooker. That's fall. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Not so much the air fryer part, but
yeah,
it does it all.
Led with air fryer.
Air fried chili. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like my chili crunchy. Okay. Yeah, well, congrats, I guess.
I haven't pulled the trigger yet. I'm thinking about it, though. I'm really tempted.
But can you play video games on it?
I bet it runs Doom.
The original Doom.
Yeah.
All right. Well, That'll do it for this week's episode of Super GG Radio. Before we go, you can find us on X, formerly Twitter, at Super GG Radio, and twitch.tv/Super GG Radio, where Thursdays, like tonight, you can watch us in a live podcast format. Or, you could just log in and download an episode. I don't know. I don't know how podcasts work. Joel was trying to show me metrics. I don't know.
It's a screenshot. we don't even know if the metrics are verifiable. We're just being given this by Spotify, and they're like, here, this is what happened. And it's like, I feel like people are listening longer on your metrics than they probably are.
That's any metric ever, and that could just be one person. But one thing was clear: everybody skips the second break.
Yep.
Somehow, for some reason, they sit through the first one, but that second one, they don't want to.
The first one, they're just like, oh, okay, I'll wait it out. The second one, the one they know the drill by then, and they're just like, oh, come on, move on. They can predict it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep going. Then Wednesdays, Alex is either getting real drunk and playing Dark Souls, or he has started his itty-bitty indie committee with Joel. What are they going to play next?
Couple of Zelda lights. Be on the lookout.
Is that what?
Yeah.
Is it in the works, or?
We have the docket for the next couple here. So.
Okay. Exciting stuff. If you want to just see one of the indies that we talk about in the podcast every week being played out before your very eyes, this is the format to do it in. Lastly, Tuesdays, Joel is being the bad guy. Finally made it to Mass Effect 2. He found his love interest, Garrus.
Dude,
he is one of the love interests, man.
She gets fresh with people in no time. Like first.
Who does?
Shepard.
Oh, you got Femme Shep?
Yeah. She. I was advised that was the better option. So, but boy, they don't. They cut the BS and go straight to like. So what are you doing? Like.
Are you enjoying the system that they have for Paragon and Renegade in 2 more than you are than 1?
It's kind of nice that there are these like little decision points where you can just flip the trigger and it's like you're gonna do the Renegade option.
Yes.
So I do like how it's a little more interactive. Keeps a little more engaged in the cutscenes and stuff. But
yeah. So I know because you have Garrus that you did probably the one with where you're outside of Haven or whatever the heck it's called, and there's just like a guy and you're like, well, I'm gonna shoot you.
Yep.
Just walk up behind him and shoot him. Like, dang.
Oh yeah.
That's
cold-blooded.
It's ice cold.
Cold-blooded.
Love that game. All of them, but yeah, 2 gets spicier. 3, still a good game. Ending, meh. But anyway, excited that you're going to make it through Mass Effect 2 and hopefully make it through Mass Effect 3 before the end of the year. But if you'd like to reach us with questions or input, our email address is mail@superggradio.com, and provide us a review on iTunes or the podcast app of your choice. Please check out our Patreon, where you can get monthly pictures of dogs. Joel, I loaded up the drive with a bunch of pictures of dogs.
Thank you. Sincerely, thank you. That's going to make it a lot easier.
Somebody has to do it. You can get your name read off as an executive producer here. We will give you free copies of early adopter games. And you can even get a chance to play games with us. Because we don't even want to play games with us, but you, the listener, we do it for you. All right, thanks for listening, and good game, Joel.
Good game.
Good game, Alec.
GG.
Woo.